They'll go with Mac Morgan, who was as successful as any pitcher yesterday. 1 2/3 allowed a hit. The Sooners, though, have historically hit Morgan well. So what did you make of Mike White's decision? You kind of called this last night.
The way that Mike White was kind of using his staff yesterday, and Mac Morgan came into this game for an inning and 2/3, gave up a hit, but that hit that she gave up was the first batter she faced. After that, she kind of settled in and settled down. When he yanked Mac Morgan that quickly after she hadn't even gone through the lineup once, it kind of gave me the impression that that's who we were going to see tonight. And the thing about Mac Morgan, she's got a lot of velocity. She's the hardest thrower on this Texas staff. Changes speeds from time to time, but I don't feel like she necessarily does it effectively. This is a good matchup for Sooner hitters, but they've got to be aggressive, and we'll talk about that in Keys.
Bella Dayton will lead off, followed by Mia Scott. Viviana Martinez, the shortstop, will bat third in the cleanup spot as Reese Atwood had a very Reese Atwood type night last night. Katie Stewart is in the fifth spot at first. Alyssa Washington will bat sixth and play second. Jolie Mitchell, the 7-hole designated player with Cade Henry, the center fielder, batting eighth. And Ashton Maloney batting ninth in right field. If that lineup sounds familiar, it's the exact same lineup that Mike White went last night. And in something very rare, Patty Gasso, outside of the pitchers for each, with the exact same matchup lineup tonight that she had last night. So that's a look at Texas, brought to you by Polston Tax Resolution and Accounting. They bring your opponent preview to the pregame show every single week, as does Riverwind Casino bring you DJ Sanchez's keys to the game. What do you have tonight, DJ, for a Sooner win?
This is very similar on the defensive side of the ball of what I said last night. Keep the ball down and keep the ball in the yard. Nearly every run that Sooner pitchers have given up in this Women's College World Series has been a home run. It's been something that can't be defended. So keep the ball down and let this defense make plays for you like what we saw last night later in the game. On the other side of the ball, Mac Morgan in the circle for the Longhorns. She'll touch the gun upwards of 70 miles an hour, but one thing that she does, she tries to get ahead early. So I really want to see this offensive lineup be aggressive and attack early in counts to put the pressure on Mac Morgan.
Keys to the game brought to you by Riverwind Casino. Always a good time. The Sooner and NCAA content creators are getting shooed away by the NCAA representative as Oklahoma was huddled around the circle during their typical pre-game sway. And we have one more matter of business before we put a wrap on the Sooner Softball pregame show presented by Walden Cleaners and Laundry. That is weather. Brought to you by the Trails Golf Club in Norman. And I don't think, DJ, we could have asked for a more perfect night. Was pretty hot whenever we all first got to the park. In fact, it's still listed as 87 degrees, but cloud cover. It's cooler here. Winds out of the southeast at 8 miles an hour. So as long as these clouds stay where they are, we're in really good shape for a potentially gorgeous night here in Oklahoma City. Our pregame weather is brought to you by the Trails Golf Club in Norman, where you can experience everything you love about golf and more. Thanks for joining us for the Sooner Softball pregame show presented by Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality. Kinsey Hansen throws the ball down. We're ready to go.
I'm just going to toss this out here. If Texas fans thought that this crowd was rowdy last night, they're already starting on one. So I think as much as the crowd played a role last night, and we even heard Coach Gasso talk about it, they were just in it. This place hasn't stopped since about 20 minutes ago.
Sooners go with the all-crimson look. Oklahoma in white across the chest in that Jordan font. Crimson stirrups, crimson socks, crimson shoes, white numbers on the back. Texas, same look as last night, all white. Texas in that burnt orange across the chest.
Leading off for Texas.
Burnt orange numbers on their back. Mike White looks down from the third base coach's box. Bella Dayton digs in. A shot at history. 1 game to none. Game 2, Little House Money. Carly Keeney in the circle. First pitch right on the outer edge. Strike 1.
That's a good start. When Keeney came into the game late against Florida, the first 2 pitches she threw, you could see some nerves. So it's good to see her hammer the zone early. But I will say this, of all the pitchers that Texas was prepping for today, I don't think Carly Keeney was at the top of that list.
Delton Dayton takes ball 1 high. I've tried to call her Delton and Dayton so far. Not like I've done just about every single Texas game in this tournament so far. Bella Dayton has been solid. Sooners shut her down last night. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fouled back towards us. 1-2.
One thing Maxwell did a really good job of against Bella Dayton last night was every single swing that I feel like she took. It was aggressive, but she looked out of sorts in the box. All of her swings were very defensive.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Dayton season average at 384. Keeney off speed. She's been working on it, missed a little bit up. And that is a pitch that Keeney has been trying to develop throughout the year. If she has it here tonight, look out. If she can't spot it, let's hope she keeps the ball down. 2-2, ball 3 high. That wasn't what we could call or would call a competitive miss.
Big pitch here from Keeney, and you hinted at it already, Plank, about the off speed. We're going to see her throw it a lot and try to get it moving early in this ball game.
The 3-2, way up. It's what you can't have.
We're going to need to see that rise ball be, I'm going to use the same word, I feel like I've said it all week, be more competitive than that, right? But early, settle in. That's the key for Carly Keeney. I feel like we've kind of watched it all year. Once she gets moving, it's dirty, but she has got to settle in quickly.
Can't even imagine what the nerves are like for Carly Keeney here as Mia Scott, who homered in her first at bat last night, digs in. First pitch strike, good sign.
I do like that outside corner getting called. It's been a little tight the last few days, so good to see the river being called a strike.
This is the 3rd appearance for Keeney against the Longhorns. 0-1 is a bunt that goes foul, and quickly she's ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. She was actually charged with the loss in the Saturday game in Austin. In 7 innings, she has allowed 2 earned runs, but 4 walks to 2 strikeouts. An 0-2 count. Dayton has not shown any inclination to go yet. 14 of 15 on stolen base opportunities, and at off speed, just a little bit of a work in progress here tonight, DJ.
I'll say this.
That skipped in the dirt.
It's no joke in off speed. It's pumping the gun at 46. That's the second one she's thrown in the 40s. So, I mean, it's a massive change of speeds, but she's got to make sure she's getting it through the zone and staying deceptive.
1-2 is fouled straight back. Good cut by Mia Scott.
Big hack from Scott and a little bit of a dangerous 2-strike pitch coming from Keeney.
Didn't have a good start. You mentioned coming out of the pen in that 3rd of an inning against Florida. Gave up a run. Big spot here. The 1-2. There's the off speed, and it's hit pretty well to center field, but Jada Coleman ranges over, makes the catch, and there's 1 away.
And sometimes that's all you need with that pitch, right? You could see Mia Scott reload on it a little bit. That's why the speed of it makes me a little uncomfortable seeing it in the mid-40s like that. But
it's too slow.
You know, but the thing is when something's coming in without a lot of velocity, it's hard to generate a lot of power behind it. So struck pretty well, but, you know, we'll take a fly out.
Here's Vivi Martinez. Again, Mike White hasn't shown an inclination to put Dayton in motion. Doesn't here as the first pitch to Martinez is a strike. The sophomore shortstop is hitting .379 on the season for the Texas Longhorns. She's been very good. Had been a problem for the Sooners as the 0-1 misses low and away. go back to that. Again, I know that some are probably tired of hearing about it, but she hit the ball hard against the Sooners in that series in Austin. Here's the 1-1. Keeney. Line drive foul down the other way and jumps ahead of ball in 2 strikes. Washington just 2 of 9 in the Women's College World Series. She's walked a couple times and has been hit by a pitch. But all in all, outside of Katie Stewart and Mia Scott, there's not huge numbers that this Texas offense has put up. The 1-2 is high, 2-2.
Well, that's kind of been the story about Texas this year, right? Like, of, man, what an offensive team, and they are. But, I mean, it really, it hasn't been, although not a lot of offenses are putting up a bunch of runs against Drew Kennedy either. So
the 2-2 pitch, grounded back up the middle, cut off by Hodge, steps on the back for one to first, you bet. Oh, you are so smooth, Avery Hodge.
Never a doubt. Avery Hodge doing what she does so well. She is one of the smoothest infielders on this roster. We said it this fall. Letting it shine.
The first person I see leaned over the Sooner dugout cheering on Avery Hodge is Kaylee Clifton, who made a career out of plays like that, and it's a great finish to the top of the first. No runs on no hits to the bottom of the first inning, scoreless in Oklahoma City. It'll be Coleman, Jennings, and Parker after a roundabout 1-2-3 top of the first inning. And it goes back to one of the things Coach Gasso talked about: keep the ball in the yard, trust your defense, and that's what Carly Keeney did in that top half of the first.
Yeah, and the leadoff walk, again, you don't like to see it, but we saw Keeney settle in, get some of those nerves and adrenaline under control, and throw a ground ball.
Mac Morgan in the Women's College World Series is 1-0. This is her second start. 6 2/3 of 2-hit ball, has struck out 7 and walked 1. Got the win in the start against Florida. Solid in 2 innings here last night. First pitch to Jada Coleman is a strike. Not quite 2 innings last night. An inning and 2/3 of 1-hit ball for the right-handed Morgan. Well, they are in tight at the corners for Coleman, who takes ball 1 on a really good pitch. A little bit low.
Nice location on the inner half, and that's something that Tegan Kavan struggled with yesterday. She could never establish the inside corner. She tried multiple times against Jada Coleman. Plunked her with it, right? But couldn't establish the inside corner.
1-1, ripped down the third base line off the glove of Mia Scott. Jada Coleman reaches. That thing shot off Scott's glove, and Martinez was there, but no chance to make a play.
And Plank, you just talked about how tight this Texas infield was in on Jada Coleman. And, we'll see Coleman run the box. We'll see her show bunt, but hasn't really used it a ton as far as actually executing it. And Jada Coleman taking a pitch that she can drive and taking advantage of the defensive alignment.
First pitch to T.R.A. Jennings is low, ball 1. Popped out of the glove of Atwood, but immediately retrieves it. Coleman back in the bag. T.R.A. Jennings holds the World Series record for most at-bats. She takes strike 1. She is 1 home run shy of tying her former teammate Jocelyn Allo for most home runs in a career in the Women's College World Series. 1-1 chop to third. Scott makes this play. Goes to second for 1 to first. Cole. Close. Jennings beat it out. Close play at first, but Jennings got there, and here comes Ella Parker. Mia Scott has a rocket off the bat of Coleman that she can't corral. And then DJ Mike makes a very nice play. Mike White going to challenge this? I hope he does, because she's safe.
Umpires coming together. I mean, watching it live, I feel like it looks closer than it actually was. I'm going to be honest.
Oh, really?
But I think Tiara was clearly safe. But watching it live, I thought it was closer than it was after I saw it on the replay.
again, you can talk the umpires into taking a look at it themselves. This has been something that has bit Mike White in the past. He burns through his challenges early, and he's continuing to work our home plate umpire, Tracy Laycock, over.
I want to know, I'm curious to know some of those conversations when coaches are trying to get an umpiring crew to look at it themselves so they don't have to burn a challenge.
All right, he will not challenge this, but the whole goal is, are you sure?
I think that the conversation had more to do with Jada Coleman and trying to...
She did matrix under the ball.
Yeah, there was that's part of the game. There was no contact. There was nothing that's just Jada Coleman playing the game.
First pitch to Ella Parker is low, ball one. Had she purposefully ran into the bag or jumped up, then yes.
She was just getting tall. There's nothing against that.
There's some things that Jada does every now that are pretty next level. That was one of them. Here's the 1-0 to Parker. It's in for a strike. Charging in with the glove up like she's going to make the play to freeze a runner over her head in center field, making it look like she's going to make the play. There at second base, good example. 1-1, good cut, fouled off.
Mac Morgan really living on that outside corner, and it's been made pretty clear from home plate umpire Tracy Laycock, that the river's going to be a strike today. It hasn't been all the way back to UCLA, I don't think. But that outside corner on the river is a strike, and Ella Parker getting rid of a pitch a little off the plate.
1-2 check swing on a close pitch on the outer edge that'll heel down to third. Third base umpire Chad Steer says, nope, she didn't go. Aaron Peterson's over at first. Steve Gold behind the bag at second. Chad Steer is at third. And again, Tracy Laycock, our home plate umpire. 2-2, a little bit low, ball three. It's pretty close.
Pretty close, and that was a pitch. It did not hit a corner. It missed right below the knee.
Full count pitch. Will Tiare be going? She isn't. Parker bounces it up the middle. Martinez steps on the back for one, throws to first, and Texas turns its own double play to wrap up the half inning. Looked like Parker had hit that well enough to where it might get through, but a good job by Martinez, who takes it to the bag, and the Sooner inning comes to an end.
I always say put the ball on the ground, especially against this Texas defense, but coming up with a play there.
And we head to the bottom of the second. Did you know the Oklahoma Medical Research Foundation has more than 300 researchers working daily to combat Alzheimer's, autoimmune disorders, cancer, and heart disease? Learn more about Oklahoma's Medical Research Foundation at omrf.org. And located just minutes from the OU campus, the Courtyard by Marriott Norman is competitively priced with travelers in mind. Learn more about our great amenities and book your stay today at Marriott.com/OKCNO. And the Trails Golf Club offers the perfect atmosphere for great golf and family fun. At the Trails, you'll find golf at its best and social events to enjoy all year. Entertain clients, enjoy friends, make family memories at the Trails Golf Club. Visit trailsgolf.com. Back to work for Carly Keeney. Scoreless, Reese Atwood digs in. Maybe.
No action clock yet.
Yeah, no, they did not start it.
On my list of least favorite things in the World Series, action clock might be at the top.
Here's the first pitch to Reese, slowing in, ball one. Atwood had a very un-Reese Atwood type night last night. Had a throwing error. Didn't know there wasn't 3 outs that led to an extra base. 1-0 pitch is fouled off. And eventually a run.
Yeah. When you get in these situations, especially against a team like OU that has won 3 national championships in a row, you've got to have your best players firing. And unfortunately for OU, but unfortunately for Texas and Reese Atwood, that was not the case last night.
Ooh, good 1-1 pitch. Missed. 2 balls and a strike. Atwood was also 0 for 2 with a walk last night. And the Big 12 Player of the Year digs in. Dangerous bat. And head on the count 2-1. Be careful here, Keeney. Grounded foul. Mike White uses his foot to kind of punt it towards Brito. And down towards the Sooner bullpen goes Nicole May.
Pretty good location coming from Keeney. A little drop ball on the inner half. And it wasn't super in tight on Atwood's hands, but it had really good late break, kind of falling out of the zone.
There is not a seat to be found in this place right now. The 2-2. Way up high, full count.
And that's the pitch that needs to be adjusted from Keeney. It's that rise ball, and it's just not starting in the zone at all. So at this point for Texas, it's been a non-factor. So they're needing to find a way to get that through the zone and work the ladder.
Full count pitch from Keeney to Atwood. Here it comes. Ball 4. A little bit elevated. Atwood is aboard on a leadoff walk, same as Bella Dayton to start the game. And here's the dangerous Katie Stewart.
You kind of see Keeney trying to get that rise ball doing what she wants. We've seen that really high miss. That's like I said, it's a non-factor. And then you saw that 1-3-2 that was close. It just isn't getting enough to get these Texas hitters to bite.
Katie Stewart, right-handed hitting first baseman, pops one up on the infield. There's T.R.A. Jennings. There's one away. That was a good pitch.
And that's the rise ball that you get little pop-ups on, right? You get it through the zone. You get Katie Stewart to attack a pitch that just had that late enough break. But I think what I like about it more was where it was on east and west on the plate, in on her hands tight.
Alyssa Washington is the first team captain Mike White has had. First pitch low, ball 1.
I was hard on Washington last night. There was a part in the game where she kind of dogged it on a drop third strike. Heck of a ball player, but I felt like that was the point in the game where you could just see Texas start to shut down.
The 1-0 pitch, that's in the dirt. Hanson gonna throw to second. Oh, they had Atwood, but the ball gets knocked out of the hand of Avery Hodge on the slide by Atwood. We'll watch the replay, DJ. But Atwood got a little late break, and Hanson threw a strike on a ball in the dirt. But let's see if she had her. That ball skipped well before the plate. Nah, she was in, right? And
it was that changeup that we've seen in the dirt. And that's, again, another piece with that off-speed being so off-speed. Reese Atwood saw it in the dirt. And I can guarantee you that's a conversation that was had after the first inning in the dugout of if you're on the base paths and you see that off-speed, read it low and take an extra base.
First runner in scoring position for Texas. First runner in scoring position for either team. Here in the top of the second, scoreless. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Washington. Bounced towards short. Backhanded by Jennings. Long throw, scooped. Got her. Sanders, fantastic at first base. 2 away. And how about that play deep in the hole from Jennings?
All the way around. Jennings backhanding in the 5-6 hole, making about the longest throw that a shortstop can make. But more than that, there was an out on that play because Sid Sanders in the stretch. Going for the ball. That's quality all the way around from start to finish.
The senior DP, Jolie Mitchell, that off speed hangs up high, ball 1. When they have that on the radar. Usually updated on the scoreboard, but maybe it didn't register. Maybe it was so slow it didn't calculate. 1 ball, no strikes. That ball's in the dirt, 2-0. Coach told us in the pregame it's something that Keeney's been working hard at developing.
And I think sometimes with a changeup, especially someone like Carly Keeney that's working on developing it, even if it's not always a strike, you still keep throwing it because you've got to keep it in the mind of the hitter.
Right. And she falls behind 3-0 here to Mitchell.
I mean, Keeney throws upper 60s, touches 70. And if she can still pull that off speed out of her pocket, it keeps these Texas Longhorns from sitting on one speed. So whether it's I'd love to see it for a strike, right? I'd love to see it for a competitive pitch through the zone.
Ball 4. A little closer on that, but it hasn't appeared through the first, I don't know what, inning and 2/3 that anything too elevated is going to be considered in the zone for Tracy Laycock. Do they let Keeney pitch here? It's not too hot and heavy for May down in the pin quite yet. So it looks like she'll get Caden Henry with runners at first and second and 2 outs. First pitch strike. There you go, kid.
And I'll say this, I mean, at this point, the only threat that Texas has had has been free passes, right? So same thing. Throw a ground ball. Let your infield do their job.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Keeney. Bounced down the first base line. They're going to let it roll, and they're going to say it hit her. They're going to say that it hit as Henry was trying to leave the batter's box. She's trying to stay at first base. It's a strike. A little confusion over there, I don't think.
I'm glad Carly Keeney saw it because I'm watching that whole thing unfold, and I saw Keeney lay up on it and put her hands up. I go, that ball's not spinning foul. Keeney, get on the ball. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know that it did hit her. Sooners might have
got away with one there.
The 0-2 pitch. Line drive, right field, falling fast. It's down. Rounding third, heading home is Atwood. The throw is not in time. 1-0 Texas on a clutch 2-out RBI single from the freshman Caden Henry.
Just a little bloop. I mean, that ball wasn't smashed, but Henry doing enough with it. And Longhorns on top first. I will say this. Caden Henry should be standing on second base. That throw comes all the way home. And Henry's got some wheels. I feel like Henry should be standing on second. I like that she's not, but
thought for a moment there might have been a chance that Atwood might have missed home, but she did not. Here's Ashton Maloney. First pitch from Keeney is a little low, maybe a little out, actually. Ball 1. Pretty good pitch. 1-0 Texas. The Horns strike first. They've been good this season when striking first. Let's see if Keeney can get out of this first and third jam. Rito in tied at third for the 9-hole hitter Maloney, who slaps it foul above the Longhorn, or excuse me, the Sooner down.
Everybody clap your hands. Clap your hands.
Maloney on the season, by the way, 382 average DJ, only 2 extra base hits.
Go after the 9-hole. I say it all the time, right? Attack the 7-8-9. I will say keep an eye on Henry here. 26 stolen bases on the season.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. She's off. Hansen throws down, cut off by Hodge. Give her the bat. They were very cognizant of Jolie Mitchell, who was over at third. 2 walks in the inning. Texas breaks through. Can Keeney hold him at 1? Ball and 2 strikes to Maloney. Throw the off speed here. She doesn't. Slap foul.
And the age-old rule, unless you're Kelly Maxwell,
right,
walks will always kill you. And Kelly Maxwell has been the anomaly of that rule, especially here in the World Series. But again, walk the leadoff. You can only play with that fire for so long before it bites you.
Here's the 1-2 from Carly Keeney. Bounce to the right side, charged by Hodge. Nice job on the short hop, shovels to first, inning over. But Texas strikes first. A run on a hit, and they strand 2. To the bottom of the second inning we go. Welcome back to Sooner Softball. 1-Zip Texas. We're presented by Love's Travel Stops, the heart of the highway, and the presenting sponsor of the Women's College World Series on the Sooner Sports Network is Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oklahoma, connecting Oklahomans to quality health care. Tough battle with the strike zone at times for Carly Keeney, but a good job holding that to just 1 run.
Yeah, I mean, you got to score to win anyway. It was very similar to what we saw last night, right? Texas put a run on the board early, and then Oklahoma kind of took control of that game. I mean, 1 run's not going to kill you, but it's making sure, especially going through the lineup a second time, that you're finding the strike zone and keeping those leadoff hitters getting off base.
First pitch strike to Brito. Answer. That's a good challenge here. Texas strikes first in the top half. One thing that has kind of typified the Sooners during this run, they always answer back. The 0-1 is low and in, nearly hit Brito. Game 1 here last night. The 8-3 Sooner win. Brito 1 for 4 with a run score. That hit, though, didn't come until her final at bat. The 1-1 pitch to the Sooner third baseman is rocketed deep to center field. It's over the head of Henry off the wall. Rounding first off to second is Brito. It's a leadoff double. And that ball nearly got out of here. Hit just below the white line on top of the wall in center field. And Brito smoked it for her 16th double of the season.
And that's so similar to her last at-bat last night in the 7th, right? She took an outside pitch and laced it in the right center field gap. Got a little bit more of this one, but back-to-back at-bats where Alyssa Brito is just lacing a curveball right back where it came from.
First pitch to K9 is in for a strike. Mac Morgan asks for time. Reese Atwood is out there to talk to the veteran pitcher. Yesterday, Kinsey Hansen was 2 for 4 with a couple of runs batted in, scored 2 runs, including that big home run early. She's been consistent for the Sooners in this postseason and in this World Series. The 0-1 is up and away.
It was interesting in some of the comments that Mike White had in the postgame yesterday. Kinsey Hansen, hardest out in the Sooner lineup. I mean, that's quite a compliment.
High praise. The 1-1 pitch, low and in, 2-1. Morgan takes a long walk to the back of the circle. Washington from second. Shouted words of encouragement as she returns. Deep near the cut of the outfield grass. The 2-1 pitch. Good spot. Right at the knees.
And that's one of those
2-2.
pitches we talked with Coach Gasso. 2-1 count, that's a pitch you'd like to see Hansen attack, but, you know, maybe that's not what she was hunting, right? To kind of use Coach Gasso's words, but that's a tough pitch to take in a hitter's count.
2-2 is bounced back to the circle. Morgan up, throws to first, 1 away. It essentially works like a sacrifice because Brito was able to get to third if you want to put a positive spin on it. Here's Pickering. How good has Cassidy Pickering and Ella Parker, the freshman, been in the Women's College World Series? They're the 1 and 2 hitters in the Sooner lineup. In 10 postseason games, 10 tournament games, Parker hitting .455, Pickering at .423, and she swings and lifts one deep to left field, and it's gone! Cassidy Pickering puts the Sooners on top with a bomb over the left field wall, and it's 2-1 Sooners.
Unbelievable. What these freshmen have done in postseason is unbelievable. Listen to this crowd.
She saw a pitch, attacked it, and the Sooners are on top.
I want to go back to a key. Attack Mac Morgan early in counts. And that's exactly what Cassidy Pickering did. Mac Morgan is trying to get ahead early. She's thrown a lot of first pitch strikes. Cassidy Pickering went up first pitch and took an absolute hack on a pitch that was middle out. It was not a great location, but Pickering attacking early.
Boone shows bunt, takes a strike. Chalk up for Cassidy Pickering. Her 5th home run of the NCAA tournament. And for Pickering on the season, home run number 12. Boone fouled that one back, had a big cut. Also, runs batted in 9 and 10 in the NCAA tournament for the freshmen. 2-1 Sooners.
Plank, if I told you that freshmen would be leading the charge offensively at the Women's College World Series, I don't think you would have bought it.
Not with this veteran lineup, that's for certain. The 0-2 to Boone is bounced foul. Sooner Home Runs proudly brought to you by the dedicated people of Oklahoma Oil and Natural Gas. Overall on the season now for the Oklahoma Sooners, That is home run number 122. Two, a little bit out, 1 and 2. So that means that the 2024 Oklahoma Sooners have hit the third most home runs by any Sooner team in school history. 1-2 is grounded towards the right field line. It's fair under the glove of Stewart. Riley Boone is aboard on a smoke shot past Stewart at first. The crowd chants Boone.
Good piece of hitting. One thing Riley Boone and Jada Coleman have both done a good job of in this game in their first at-bats, and they both have singles. Put the ball on the ground. Hit something hard and use the dirt. Get the ball out of the air.
Mike White has made his first trip to the circle. Now, this is a little bit different than what we've typically seen. Patty Ruth Taylor, who is in her first year calling pitches, Patty Ruth Taylor usually makes the circle visits, but Mike White obviously saw something he wants to fix, or at least attempt to now. There is action in the Texas bullpen. It is Estelle Check. Meeting is over. Here comes Sid Sanders. I think Uncle Mike is trying to lead a Boomer Sooner chant. Seems like it's going pretty well.
Sydney Sanders.
Here's Sid.
I'd love to see Sid, and this isn't always her MO, but I'd like to see her attack early in the count.
First pitch right down the middle, strike one. Not a bad idea, Deej. Not a bad idea.
That's not her thing. She's so patient, but...
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Sanders. Got him. Popped it up on the infield a mile high. Mia Scott makes the catch, and there are two away for the Sooners with Avery Hodge headed to the plate.
I like the aggressiveness, and again, I said a key was going to be to get to Mac Morgan early in counts, and I think we're seeing the Sooners do that. They're just not getting the outcome there, but I don't mind the approach.
Avery Hodge.
When Coach Gasso has talked about this team's run here in OKC, Avery Hodge is a name that comes up quickly. She takes strike one. Called upon to essentially be the everyday second baseman after the injury to Alina Torres. And she has been, in a word, solid, not just in the field, but much better at the plate. The 0-1 is low. Boone started to take off, but thought better of it.
And it ended the inning in the second, so I think we were maybe didn't give quite as much love to the play that she made on Maloney with two runners in scoring position. Another just tough play.
The 1-1, boy, she had a cut, fouled that thing back, and rockets up the net. Ball and two strikes. And I say this, and I look down at her NCAA tournament stats, and it's wild that she's just 3 for 15. But all three of those hits have come in the Women's College World Series, where she's hitting 300 and scored 3 runs.
We talked about it the other day, I think in the Florida game. She's just had competitive at-bats. She's drawn walks.
1-2 is a check swing on a pitch off the outer edge. They peel down to third. No. Two balls and 2 strikes.
Nearly every at-bat she has gone deep into a count. She's fouling pitches off. 2-2 here, but I mean, she's seen so many pitches, it feels like nearly every at-bat.
The 2-2 blown away, ball 3. It's Jada Coleman waiting on deck, too. Turn the lineup over.
Now, I've really been impressed with Avery Hodge in the 9-hole. Not surprised by any means, because we've seen her have success all year long in different roles, but she's really been good.
3-2 is a little check swing foul. Don't know if I would go as far as calling that a soft slap. That was more just make sure the ball hits my bat and goes foul. Hodge is a good kid, hard worker, developing the work ethic, good attitude. The 3-2 pitch is ball 4. Here comes Jada Coleman with runners at first and second. It's the first walk by Mac Morgan. And it puts the Sooners with a runner in scoring position. We're going to challenge whether or not Boone left early. What an interesting challenge. Now, they got us on this in Austin. All right, let's check and see.
Surely not, right? I do want to say, another great at-bat from Avery Hodge. Regardless of what her batting average is at the end of the Women's College World Series, she has had some of the best at-bats out of this lineup.
Home plate umpire is about to make the announcement here to the crowd at Devon Park. Here we go. Maybe. Very dramatic. Well, we are under an official review.
The ruling on the field is the runner left on time. Texas is challenging that. The play is under further review.
Oh, they got her.
She's early.
Yeah. They got her. We're under review. Brought to you by McIntyre Law. Noble McIntyre, buddy over at McIntyre Law, the law firm you should turn to for all your personal injury needs. It's a timing thing, and interesting time to go ahead and burn a challenge, but I also understand what you could be looking at, runners at first and second with Jada.
Well, if it pays off, I mean, what a huge call, right? I mean, you've got Jada Coleman, runners at first and second, Riley Boone will score on a base hit, but I mean, if this gets overturned, I mean, it's a huge.
What you're seeing is she left early on that replay.
Yes,
right?
and sometimes it's deceiving because you see that early motion, right? And even though you're seeing the foot kind of look like it's leaving contact with the bag, it's almost just more of timing. But I think this could get overturned, unfortunately. If it doesn't, that's about as close as you can get without leaving early, which is where you want to be, right? That's the name of the game with leaves.
Right. Well, as it stands now, the Sooners have runners at first and second with 2 outs. The ruling has been handed down. We'll learn here in moments. First review of the game brought to you by Noble and McIntyre Law.
That view right there makes it look like she left early.
I mean, we're talking
Milliseconds.
inches,
Yes.
milliseconds. Whatever smaller than millimeters.
After review, the call has been changed. Runner left early. Out. That is Texas' first review.
Interesting moment, but again, a necessary move for Texas to potentially keep themselves in this game. The Sooners strike back. A 2-run home run from Cassidy Pickering. And as we head to the third, it's 2-1 Oklahoma.
I got to be real here. It was a great call by Mike White and his staff. It was. I mean, talk about just halting any piece of momentum that OU had. You have 2 really tremendous at-bats from your 8-9 and Riley Boone and Avery Hodge to roll it back over to Jada Coleman, who's seeing the ball well, and then it just got halted. I mean, it was a great call. You got to tip your hat to the Texas staff.
Back to work for Carly Keeney. Bella Dayton, first pitch, low and away, ball 1. Dayton, by the way, walked in the first inning and was forced out on a beautiful play by Avery Hodge. Unassisted double play. Well, unassisted force out to the bag, 4-3. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Line drive, left field. Boy, bad break by Boone at first, but she races back and makes the catch in foul territory. What was that?
Dicey. That's what that was. It was dicey.
She broke in and then all of a sudden turned smoothly and found another gear.
It's a big
Here's Mia
out.
Scott, 1 away.
I mean, you roll off of, again, this is a game of momentum, and I just talked about how that call of Boone leaving early got overturned, and come out and get your first out. First time Keeney's done that this game.
Pretty good first pitch. Called a ball. What's that, a little bit up?
Sure.
Not much. 66 miles an hour. 2-1 Oklahoma. 2-run home run from Cassidy Pickering. We're in the top of the third inning. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Sooners. Just the 1 hit, couple of walks for Texas. There's a strike. Ball and a strike. Nervous energy all around this stadium. Ready to explode at a moment's notice with Oklahoma trying to do what has never been done in this sport before. The 1-1 is in for a strike. Mia Scott turns and can't believe it and walks around the batter's box, kicks the chalk on the inside line of the box.
I'm all for passion. I'm all for, I understand it, but let's go. Let's not, and I've been all over the umpires, but let's not show them up on national television.
1-2 is a little bit in. Mia Scott turns and says something else to our home plate umpire.
Can you imagine? I have so many things going through my head right now. Number 1, what would Coach Gasso do? Number 2, I don't want to hear the phone call I'd get from Charlotte Mathis.
Mom wouldn't be happy.
No.
Here's the 2-2 pitch from Keeney. A little bit out, full count. There's chalk sprayed all around the inside line on the batter's box. After Mia Scott's mini fit. Now she's running full. The pitch is hopped up to left field and got a little juice to it. Boone, though, ranges back, makes the catch short of the warning track, and there's 2 away. Let me tell you something. This team is ready to quit.
Yep. They're looking for a reason to quit, just like last night.
They're looking for a reason to tap out. And if the Sooners can get back into the dugout 2-1, there's a good chance they can land a knockout blow.
Riley Boone is a tremendous outfielder. I feel like that's 2 balls in a row that maybe she lost just a bit off the bat.
First pitch skips about, I don't know, a good 6 feet in front of the plate for ball 1 to Martinez, who grounded out to second her last time up. 2-1 Sooners, top of the 3rd. Keeney from the belt. Ground ball up the middle, past the diving Jennings into center field.
Love the hustle from Jennings. I mean, that's a base hit all day long. But as always, I mean, Jennings doing everything she can. Love it.
Right there. Shout out to our buddy Warren, who's checking in Cleveland, Indiana. The Kitches are in the house tonight. We got Curtis in Boynton. How about that? Jalen Debbie are in Montezuma. Bobby's up in Illinois, trailing to Curran Moore. Jules is turned in. David John. Thanks for listening to Sooner Softball tonight on the Sooner Sports Network. Big moment here. First pitch to Atwood. Line drive, base hit. Towards the gap. Cut off by Coleman. Comes up firing towards third. And Atwood stays at first as Martinez slides in safely. Man, you felt like you were an out away from maybe, just maybe, having a moment where Texas's frustration might start to showcase. And boy, they've bounced back with 2 big hits, and that was smoked.
And they're doing it with 2 outs, and Atwood just going down to get that pitch. But this is a big spot here. I mean, we all know what Katie Stewart can do.
Jen Rocha is going to walk out and chat here a bit with Carly Keeney. Gets us a moment to say thanks to our buddy Kenneth Matthews up in Broken Arrow. Beth, Dallas, and Jennifer are in they wrote Little Flock, Arkansas. It's got to be Little Rock, right? Got to be. Gator is synced up with a 4-letter network. Doug is out in Hockley, Texas. Mike, Lori, and Phyllis in Barnstall. Beth, Delilah, and Jennifer. Oh, we got a lot of Beths. Jay's in Frankfurt. There's the Melanie and Brent in Seattle. Todd and Shelley in Bartlesville. Kevin's up in BA. A lot of Broken Arrow representation tonight. Joe Fournier in Pensacola and Robert in Hoffman, Oklahoma. Saw Granny Karen had checked in earlier. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves before Katie Stewart digs in. This is Sooner Softball from Learfield. Meetings are over. Atwood at first, Martinez at third, Stewart at the plate. 2-1 Sooners. First pitch, little in. Stewart thought it might have hit her. Instead, it's ball one.
Do you want to pass the bat? Runners at first and third?
Kind of looked at the umpire, said no. Stewart set the Texas freshman record for runs batted in a season with 57. The 1-0 is in for a strike, 1-1.
It's a good pitch on the inner half. A screwballing. One thing that Keeney has done a really good job of so far in this game, she's really done a good job of when she goes in, she's hitting that spot in on the hands, and Texas hasn't really been able to handle it well on the inside half.
First and third, 2 outs. The 1-1 pitch in the dirt. Great job by Hansen. Blocks it. Atwood's going to take off and get second. But when Keeney goes to that off speed, man, it is noticeable.
Yeah, and it's the same thing we saw Reese Atwood do it back in the second inning, reading that off speed in the dirt and taking the extra bag into scoring position.
2-1 pitch from Keeney, way up high. 3-1. Now you wonder, is this potentially her last hitter?
And this is where the changeup not being in the zone becomes an issue, right? And again, I'm all for throwing it, whether it's a strike or not, to keep it in their head, but it'd be really nice to have an effective off speed here in a hitter's count.
Here comes the 3-1 pitch from Keeney. Ball four. Bases loaded. And here comes Alyssa Washington. I would imagine that's going to be it for Keeney. Maybe not.
I mean, Washington,
Now batting for Texas, second baseman.
I was going to say she doesn't quite have the pop of Katie Stewart, but she's not far behind her.
10 home runs on the season, 34 runs batted in. They'll stick with Keeney here. First pitch, line drive up the middle, past the diving Jennings into center field. 1 run scores, that's it. We're tied at 2. A first pitch base hit back up the middle by Alyssa Washington has made it 2-2. I mean, what a difference a couple of hits have made this half inning for Texas. They look like a team that was done after Mia Scott's actions during her at-bat, and they barreled up a couple off Keeney, and we're tied at 2.
And the walk peppered in there as well. Again, Alyssa Washington, it wasn't a great location, and Keeney's done a decent job of hitting some spots.
Time is called. Patty Gasso is going to go get Keeney, and the surprise starter was serviceable. She'll leave responsible for all 3 runners currently on the bag.
I saw May.
Well, I saw S.J. Guerin in the pen for a bit, but May had been throwing for a while, so she's ready. Boy, what a spot if you're going to bring in Guerin here, right? I don't think that would be the case. They did have a shot of S.J. warming up.
If we did, and I don't anticipate to see that, if we did see S.J. Guerin, I mean, it would be purely matchup, right?
Yep. She can flat out spin it.
Yep.
It is. Wow. How about this?
Monticelli.
Oh, Monticelli. Sorry, I apologize. Guerin, by the way, came running in from the pin, and Monticelli.
Kelly Maxwell and was late on Maxwell. So, to me, Monticelli has that plus velocity. Again, it's about matchups, and there's obviously something that Coach Rocha and Coach Gasso see for Monticelli versus Mitchell.
18th appearance of the season for Peyton Monticelli, and the first time that we've seen her in a minute. In fact, the last appearance by the Wisconsin transfer came on May 9th against Kansas. She had a couple of rough outings where she lost a little bit of the handle against Houston, against Kansas in Lawrence in that series. In the final game, she went a third, allowed a hit, and 2 runs, walked 1. But in her last outing against Kansas in the Big 12 tournament here, 2 innings and a strikeout, she was solid. So what a moment for the Wisconsin transfer, Peyton Monticelli. Bases loaded, 2 out, 2-2 game. First pitch for Monticelli, straight gas, a little up, ball 1.
Throw strikes. That's the name of the game. Throw strikes. And again, put the pressure on Jolie Mitchell. Does not have the quickest hands, a little long in her swing from what we saw in game one. So this is a good matchup for Monticelli, but she's got to be in the zone.
1-0 is way outside 2-0. This was the problem. I love putting it on her, though. I love giving her this opportunity. They loved this matchup when we were in Austin. It didn't go so well, but challenge the youngster here. 2-2 game, bases loaded, top of the third for Texas, 2 outs. The 2-0 pitch is in for the strike. It got away from Hanson, but Atwood did not get a jump at third. And somehow Texas can't score the go-ahead run. And by the way, the scoreboard has it wrong. It was called a strike. It's 2 balls and a strike.
Wow. Something you don't see often. And you also, and you got to take into account, it was going to be a foot race between
Monticelli and Atwood, yeah.
Yes, and Brito was crashing.
Yeah.
So
she could have
missed
scored.
opportunity there.
Here's the 2-1 pitch from Monticelli, way up high, ball 3. Pound the zone, Peyton. Pound the zone.
Get the feeling Jolie Mitchell is taken all the way here.
Three balls and a strike. Monticelli, big pitch here. Bases loaded. Here it comes. Strike 2, right on the outer edge. Mitchell's complaining when it was right down the middle. I don't know.
Yeah, they come by it honest. You listen to their staff enough.
Full count.
Here we go.
Now listen to this place coming to life for Monticelli. The 3-2 pitch headed home to Jolie Mitchell. Bounce to the right side. Sanders has it. Steps on the bag. Inning over. That a kid. Peyton Monticelli comes in. Gets the ground out. Oklahoma, though, get the bats going here. Texas puts a run on the board with 2 outs to tie us at 2. In from all over the country, all over the world. Jeff is in the Philippines tonight. Tacoma, Washington, that's where David is. Mikey is out in El Dorado Hills. Larry's in the St. Pete Sooner Den. Joel in Rogersville. Charissa is checking in from Playa Blanca, Costa Rica. Tim is in a hotel in Woodward, Oklahoma, and Brian is out in Maryland as we head to the bottom of the third, tied up at 2. DJ?
Getting out of that without giving up another run was massive. I mean, it was. And again, we talked about it a ton. I think this entire place was shocked to see Monticelli, not because she's not a great pitcher, but because she hasn't seen a single batter in postseason. So again, it's all about matchups, and Coach Gassel will be the first one to tell you that. But a huge matchup as far as Monticelli v. Mitchell.
So because of the rules with Boone leading early, which ended things in the bottom half of the second, Avery Hodges' walk does not count.
I like her leading off this inning.
Hodge will lead off. Drew a walk in the bottom of the second, but leaving the bag early was called on Riley Boone, and the pitch for Mac Morgan finds the outer edge. Scoreboard is identical. 2 runs for each team, 4 hits for each team, no errors for either team. 2-2 game. The 0-1. Hodge quickly behind, no balls and 2 strikes.
And that's a pitch I'd like to see Hodge attack. Little on the inner half, but it was more middle in. I will say, this is a good time for me to get my shout out.
Oh, yes.
Kyle and Cal Sanchez on their way up here from Richmond, Texas.
0-2 is ripped into left field. It's a base hit. Cut off before it can get to the corner by Bella Dayton. Her 4th hit of the Women's College World Series is a leadoff single. The 5th hit of the game for the Sooners, Avery Hodge.
And just another good piece of hitting. Again, 0-2 and Avery Hodge getting it done. Gotta love her just taking this pitch on the outer half, and it was not an awful pitch from Mac Morgan. It was in the river, and Avery Hodge going out to get it.
Well, Mike White has emerged from the Texas dugout. We're going to see a pitching change. I don't know if it will be to the degree of shock that Peyton Monticelli was coming out of the pen. That's not a knock on Peyton. Mike White with the rather lengthy walk out to the circle. He talked to the umpires first. Now remember, if you're new to the sport, Mac Morgan, if you start the game, you can re-enter. It will be a stealth check. And you brought this up early in the show, DJ. Sooners seem to hit check hard yesterday after struggling with her in Austin. She's one of the leaders on this team.
And my son and husband on their way up from Richmond, Texas, up to Oklahoma City right now, home of Avery Hodge.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
The Richmond product.
We live about 2 miles from Avery Hodge.
Look at you.
How about that?
Looping it back into a storyline. First pitch to Coleman is a hard slap to third. Mia Scott is there to make the play, but it works as a sacrifice, and Coleman is clapping as she's retired.
Like to see that from Jada Coleman. And you can kind of see Texas was expecting some short game, but just doing enough and still making Texas make a little bit more of a play than on a bunt. So scoring position, here we go.
TRA reached on a fielder's choice in the first. First pitch grounded, just fouled on the third baseline. Waiting this ruling if they're going to give Jada a sacrifice on it.
Wishful thinking.
They're going to give it to her. How about that? Danny does not agree with that ruling, does she?
Learn something new every day.
All right, quick little meeting again between Atwood and Check. No balls and a strike, 2-2 game. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Hodge at second. After the sac bunt by Coleman. Here's the 0-1 to Jennings. That's in for a strike, and quickly an 0-2 count. It's a good pitch.
It was, and I think something, again, why Texas went to Check in this situation. She changes speed so much more effectively than Mac Morgan. I mean, it's a massive difference from 70, and Estelle Check still has velo.
Line drive, hit hard to center field, but right at Henry. Boy, Hodge is going to tag and take off for third and get the bag. What a smart play by Avery Hodge on the laser to center field. She noticed Henry not getting it back in quickly, so she took off. That's the second big-time hustle play that Hodge has made here in the championship series.
Going to be a lot of Avery Hodge fans. Not that there weren't before, but by the time this series is said and done, there's going to be a lot of people wearing Hodge jerseys.
First pitch, Ella Parker, strike. Ella, her last time up, grounded one up the middle, but a nice play by Martinez, who stepped on the bag and then turned two to end a Sooner threat in the first. Here's the 0-1, a little bit up and away. What hasn't Ella Parker done in this Women's College World Series? From the jump, she's been outstanding. 1-1 pitch. Inside, almost hit. Runner at third. Runners in scoring position has not quite been the Sooners' strength. They've averaged leaving 8 runners on base in this Women's College World Series. The 2-1 pitch to Parker is lifted deep to right field. Fly ball. It's caught at the warning track, and that'll do it for the Sooners on a deep fly out to right center field by Parker. The Legends checking in from Washington. Sooner Amy in Tomball, Texas. Casey Nicole nervously pacing her entire house. Terry Davis has us synced up in Florissant, Colorado. Jeremy while watching softball in Seattle. Joel and Deanne in DeSoto, Kansas. Curtis and Judy in Lake Texoma, 2-2 game. And it's Kirsten Deal. And you looked at what's coming up in the Texas lineup, and you said this is the spot for the lefty.
Yep, we're expecting a pitching change. There are 5 lefties in a row coming to the plate for the Longhorns. This is the spot for Kirsten Deal. You've got the lefty-lefty matchup, and you can kind of see the game plan in the circle as kind of, to use the word shocking as it may be, but the game plan of putting Deal in the situation. She's got 2 good innings here in the 4th and 5th of what should be left-handed hitters.
2-2 game. First pitch high to Caden Henry, who singled, drove in a run, and stole a base. A 2-run homer for the Sooners in the bottom of the second from Cassidy Pickering. Texas a single run in the second and the third, and a strike here to Henry. 1-1. Kirsten Deal's numbers as we have our pitching changes brought to you by Love's Travel Stops, the heart of the highway. 13-1 on the season, 77 1/3 innings. She has struck out 67 and walked 22. Fouled off. I mentioned that ERA of 1.99. And while she has seemingly struggled out of the pen, DJ, she's been a little bit better in this postseason when called upon in the relief appearance she's made.
She has, and I think some of that early coming out of the bullpen kind of a testament to her youth a little bit.
1-2. Wow, that skipped way early. In fact, Hansen gets down to block it, and it shoots towards the Texas dugout.
But I think I even forget sometimes that Deal is just a sophomore and didn't see a ton of time last year, and has been really good in some of her starts. But having that mindset of coming out of the bullpen, it's something that a lot of these young pitchers don't come in with because they've never had to do it.
2-2 pitch to Henry. Time is called. There was time on the action clock, and I don't know if there was malfunction with the call or whatever it was, but they did award the timeout, and reward Deal and Hansen. 2-2 pitch. The lefty-lefty matchup. Line drive. Base hit into left field. Cut off by Boone before it gets to the alley. Texas has the leadoff hitter aboard here in the fourth.
Good work by Boone getting that in quickly. Again, from Deal. Settle in. That's the name of the game, coming in out of the bullpen and take advantage of the lefty-lefty matchup. And a little bit of a curveball coming from Deal with 2 strikes, just not getting it enough to that outside corner.
Now batting right fielder number 7, Ashton Maloney.
6, 7, 8, 9 is actually where Texas has done some damage, as the bunt shown, but Deal missed a little bit out. Brito came charging hard from third. She would have been right there. Tied up at 2, top of the fourth inning. 5 hits for each team. Neither team has committed an error. 1-0 count as Deal is set. She rocks and fires. The bunt is popped up behind home plate, nearly caught by Hansen, just out of her reach.
You can see Texas, they've shown bunt a couple times trying to execute some things and have not been successful with it yet. Spot here for Deal to recognize what Texas is trying to do and hit a spot. Maybe elevate that curveball just a little bit on the outside half.
Here's the 1-1. Low runner goes. Hansen bobbled the ball as she was ready to fire down to try to get Henry, who was on the move. But this Texas team has not been shy about taking off. They did it in the series during the regular season. They didn't get a chance to do it much last night, but they've done it here tonight. Bunt again here.
I think you need to be on your toes for it.
There it is. Bunted foul. 2-2.
And again, for Texas, they're not executing the bunt. We've seen it, especially from their lefties, of trying to lay something down. I mean, that's huge. You get that bunt down, you've got arguably the quickest runner in your lineup standing at third with 1 out.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Unfortunately, the fast runner from Texas right now is second. And Deal gets the swing and a miss. What a pitch. Broke off the outer edge. Looked like Maloney was trying to slap at it. Big strikeout. That is the first strikeout for a Sooner pitcher tonight, and it comes in the fourth. It's a Tinker Federal Credit Union strikeout, Oklahoma's largest credit union.
And that's a 2-strike curveball, right? The pitch that Henry hit into left field, also curved, but not getting off the plate like what we saw to Maloney.
First pitch to Bella Dayton is a strike. First pitch strike. How about that?
I like it.
60 miles an hour on the gun. Dayton 0 for 1 tonight in this Women's College World Series, hitting 3 for 14. She hit Kennedy pretty well. The 0-1 pitch is a bunt. Deal, glove, shovels to first, 2 away. Runner gets off to third, and that's where she'll be for Mia Scott in Texas. Will need a 2-out hit from one of its biggest bats. How about that play from Deal?
Yeah, bouncing out of the mound, bouncing out of the circle. And I like the idea from Dayton, but again, not executed well. If you're going to lay that down with one out, you've already got a runner in scoring position. Her moving from second to third doesn't do a lot of good, right? But you take it. Good job from Deal fielding your position.
2-2 game, top of the fourth inning. Go ahead run for Texas at third. Here's the first pitch to Mia Scott. Right in. Strike one. Deal toes the rubber as she gets the call. 6 on the action clock. 5. She's got to hustle here. She's ready. Starts the motion at 1, and it's pop foul back towards us. And it's an 0-2 count.
It's a good pitch. In on the hands. Love to see, again, you got that lefty-lefty matchup here. Would love to see a nice curveball on the chalk in the other batter's box.
Crowd rises. It's loud. The 0-2 pitch from Deal. One hopper towards second. Oh, it gets by Hodge and into right center field. Mia Scott with a clutch 2-out base hit just past Avery Hodge on a play that she's made all week long, and Texas takes the lead.
That's tough. We have seen Avery Hodge be so good defensively, and we even heard Coach Gasso say it in the pregame. She has made some plays in this game early and in last night's game that kind of changed the tone of the game and just got ate up there a little bit.
Jim Rocha calls time. She's going to jog out and chat.
I'll say this, Deal's doing a good job of getting ahead, but both base hits here in this inning have come with 2 strikes. Right, so hit a better spot with 2 strikes, finish those counts, and make sure you're not throwing something too sweet when you're ahead.
They gave Bella Dayton a sacrifice bunt, too.
In theory.
Yeah, I guess.
In theory.
If you're going to give one earlier like they did to Jada, I guess you are here.
In my scorebook, it's a botched bunt, but that's
looks
neither
like,
here nor there.
Are they going to ding Hodge with an error, too? They are. So it'll be an unearned run here in the top of the fourth that will give Texas the lead. And now with 2 outs, Sooners try to limit this to 1 is Vivi Martinez. There was a moment where it felt like the Sooners were ready to land a knockout blow, but a 2-out rally by Texas. And now again here in the fourth has given the Longhorns the lead. First pitch in the dirt. Good job by Hansen. Ball 1.
And that's a tough error. Now, Avery Hodge goes to her backhand immediately out of the inning. But even then, again, that's too sweet. Something shouldn't be getting squared up that well on an 0-2 count.
Here's the 1-ball, no strike pitch to Vivi Martinez. Swing and a miss. She's 1 for 2 on the day as Martinez. Scored a run in the third. Yep, they're going to give Avery Hodge E4. And Texas, much like Florida here on Monday, have scored all of its runs with 2 outs. The 1-1 pitch in the dirt, 2-0.
Here's the trend I don't like, and it made me think about it when you said Florida. It made me go back to that game 1 against Florida that no one wants to go back to. But
That's
Florida
right.
scored in every inning.
Yeah.
Texas on a roll right now. They've scored second, third, and fourth inning. So just needing to find a way to get them out of some rhythm.
2 balls and a strike. The pitch is sky deep to right field, but Pickering has a beat on it, makes the catch, and that'll do it. Damage done, though. Texas takes the lead 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Sooner softball is presented by Love's Travel Stops, the heart of the highway. Little momentum now in that dugout for the Texas Longhorns, TJ. 3-2, they lead the Sooners as Brito leads off.
Yeah, this is a big half inning. I mean, you're in the heart of your lineup, 4, 5, 6 with Brito, Hansen, and Pickering. Big spot here. Answer back, right? Answer back.
Brito doubled and scored on Pickering's home run as she takes a strike.
I will say this, though. I think Coach Mike White has gone to check because she changes speeds, and it's a different look. There's another off speed.
In for a strike, 0-2.
Now, if Chet can get that pitch going, one thing the Sooners have struggled with, right? And this is not a secret anywhere. They've struggled with off-speed pitches. But, again, you've got to adjust that game plan quickly. You've got to sit late and start taking things the other way.
No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Brito. Well, that's off speed. And I think she's lucky she's not heading back to the dugout right now. It just missed a little bit out, 1 and 2.
3 pitches.
Three straight off speeds.
Yeah, and they've been different types of off speed. That pitch was in the 40s. The pitch before that in the mid-50s.
1-2 is ripped foul. Look out in the camera well area behind Coach Gasso. Buddy Greg Scallion missed that on the check-ins. Good to see you listening, Greg. Meal out in Denton with AJ at football camp. Camp season, DJ.
Oh, yes.
Camp season. Brent Venables football camp's getting underway this weekend. Sure, there'll be a summer's worth of Patty Gasso camps coming up, too. 1-2 is outside, 2-2 to Brito.
Something that's kind of always been cool, but also I think probably a little crazy in some ways.
Go ahead.
Softball camp is almost right after the World Series.
It is.
Like Jackie Livingston killing it.
The 2-2 pitch to Brito. She stays alive, fouls it off. And hopefully celebrating a championship tonight. We'll have hopefully, even though the Sooners trail 3-2 in the 4th, a big-time party at Love's, but portal's already open, too.
Yep.
You've got roster spots for next year to think about. The 2-2 pitch to Brito, another hard-hit foul ball towards our buddy Ryan Wondrosik at the end of the Sooner bench.
I will say this, Brito's seeing a lot of pitches, but the pitches that Brito is fouling hard into the third base dugout, they're all velo. They're all in the 60s. So want to make sure she's sitting a little bit late, because if I'm watching that and I'm calling pitches, I'm thinking of changing speeds a little bit here.
Hard hit ball deep to center field. Racing back is Henry to make the catch on the warning track. And there's one away. Boy, the Sooners have had some long, hard outs, and right away after that pitch, popping out of the dugout was Patty Ruth Taylor to say, all right, don't throw that pitch again.
Well, it was interesting. The setup was really interesting to me because we saw 3 different types of off speeds to start that at bat. We saw a pitch come in at about 59, 60, 55, 49. And then it was mid-60s velocity. And you could see that Brito was out in front of it, and that same pitch that she just hit well to center field was another pitch that had some velocity on it. So the pitch sequence was kind of interesting to me. I'm starting to wonder if there was a signal missed somehow.
I mean, Patty Ruth Taylor was out of the dugout almost as the catch was made.
Yeah, I don't think that was the pitch she was supposed to throw.
Here's K9. First pitch to Kinsey Hansen is low ball 1. Hansen grounded out to the circle her last time up. 3-2. Oklahoma trails it. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 ball and no strikes to Hansen. That's in for strike 1.
Oh, backdoor curve action. That pitch actually broke over the middle of the plate. The dangers of the backdoor sometimes of breaking just a little bit too much.
Here's the 1-1. Little in. 2 balls and a strike. Hansen in the postseason, previous 10 postseason games for the Sooners. 3 home runs, 8 runs batted in, hitting .333. The 2-1 is looped at his left field, and it's down for a hit. Hansen muscled that one into left field. Looked like she might have been jammed up a bit, but still, it's the 6th hit of the game for the Sooners. And here is the hero so far tonight, Cassidy Pickering.
It's crazy to think she saw a pitch. A single pitch.
Here's the second pitch that Pickering will see today, and she swings and hits it hard to right field. It's falling fast. It's down for a hit. Hansen had to hustle to get to second. Maloney tried to deke her into thinking that ball had a little bit more juice than it did. There's runners at first and second with 1 out. Here comes Riley Boone. The Sooners down a run in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Here we go, and this is something we have heard this team talk about a lot. Pass the bat, right? Cassidy Pickering has seen 2 pitches in this ball game, and that was a pitch on the outside half, a curveball coming from Czech, and just doing enough with it. Really love to see Riley Boone use some dirt here.
At the plate for OU left fielder number 0, Riley Boone.
Here's Boone. First pitch, strike. So Cassidy Pickering at 2 for 2 nights. She's at first. Hansen at second. Boone singled her last time up on a shot down the first base line. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Boone swings and just got a piece of it on a ball that looked way up and away. Boone went chase just under 300 in the Women's College World Series for Riley Boone. She's at 294.
And Boone showed bunt on that first pitch.
The 0-2 off speed, pokes it to the right side. Stewart has it, the race to the back. Not in time! Boone's too fast! And the bases are loaded with 1 out. Stewart took forever to get there, and the crowd chants Boone after she beats it out. Bases loaded for Sid Sanders.
Those are the types of things that happen when you put the ball on the ground. And Riley Boone with her back against the wall a little bit on an 0-2 count. Again, just taking that pitch on the outer half and chopping it into the dirt. And here we are. Put the pressure on the Texas defense.
Sid Sanders is 0 for 1. First pitch ripped foul. Look out in the stands. Somebody sacrificed themselves and put a glove up to slow that thing down.
Sydney Sanders just swung at the first pitch, Glenn.
Don't see that very often.
Nope.
She hit the snot out of it, too. Boone at first, Pickering at second. At third is Hansen. The 0-1 is in for a strike.
This is very similar to the setup we saw to Brito. That first pitch coming in right around 60 mile an hour. Took a little bit more off. I would expect to see more of the same.
0-2 outside, 1-2. Good waste pitch by Estelle Czech. Boone's infield single. Pickering's blooper. Hansen's shot into left. Bases juiced. 1-2 pitch to Sanders. Outside, 2-2. Pretty good pitch.
It is. Good pitch. Better discipline. It's a tight pitch, though. I'll say that much.
I would not take it if it was near that again. The 2-2. Foul back. Had a good cut. Sid Sanders swings so hard that every time she follows through, it looks like she's about to fall down. She's got to reposition her helmet. As she did right there, she's back in for the 2-2 pitch from Czech. Rocks and fires. Line drive, right center field towards the gap. It's down. It's to the wall. Hansen scores. Pickering scores. Here comes Boone. It's a bases clearing double from Sid Sanders, and it's 5-3 Sooners.
I'm going to steal a line from T.R.A. Jennings. You were just talking about how hard Sydney Sanders swings the bat. Good things happen when you swing the bat hard. What a good at-bat from Sydney Sanders.
Pandemonium at Devon Park as Sid Sanders lasers one into right center field, and Oklahoma has taken a 5-3 lead. First pitch to Avery Hodge is a bunt that's foul. Hodge is 1 for 1 with a single. Only Patty Gasso goes racing towards the dugout to say something. I'm not sure who's at the front of the dugout there. Yeah, we're going to get a pinch runner here. I think that's what Coach wanted. Patty Gasso is trying to get the attention of our home plate umpire, Tracy Laycock, because it is so loud you can barely hear yourself think down there on the field. And the Sooner fans say it ain't loud enough. Sid Sanders gets a standing ovation as she checks out. Maya Bland will pinch run here. 5-3 Oklahoma, bottom of the fourth inning.
Starting from Oklahoma, number 12, Maya Bland.
What a moment for a player who's had a rough season. Maybe one of the greatest stretches when the Sooners had her at Love's Field, swinging a foul tip, strike two. But when they opened at Love's Field, Sid Sanders went on that run with, 8 home runs in 8 games? It's been a struggle ever since, but maybe the biggest moment of the season, she steps up. 0-2, Hodge lines one down the left field line, foul, and out of the reach of Dayton.
And I think what's been kind of cool, too, is, we talk so much about how Coach Gasso shifts the lineup and does different things, gives people opportunities, and when you get your opportunities, you got to make the most of them. Sydney Sanders, again, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster. We've seen her be unbelievable, and we've seen her struggle, but continuing to get opportunities.
0-2 inside. A good pitch. Reese Atwood holds it there.
Yeah, that's tough.
Just in case the umpire changes her mind.
I don't like saying it, but that's a strike.
That's a good pitch.
Yeah, that's tough.
1-2 count. Bland, the pinch runner at second. Sooners now up 5-3. Estelle Check, lefty-lefty matchup. Well outside, 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Hodge. She turns on one and hits it pretty deep to right field. Maloney makes the catch. Bland's going to tag. She's off to third, and she's safe. Heck of a throw from Maloney out in right field. But Bland tags. Runner at third now. 2 outs for Jada Coleman.
We saw Avery Hodge do that earlier in the game of tagging up on a line drive to center field. Maya Bland doing it there on an average depth fly ball, but trying to make this Texas defense make mistakes.
First pitch to Jada is a strike. She nods after seeing it. Coleman walked in the first and was singled in the first and was credited with a sac bunt in the third. She's 1 for 1. The 0-1 pitch, a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike, and again, Atwood frames that, holds it there for a bit. Did not think it was a ball. 1-1 count to the Sooner leadoff hit. Here it comes. Off speed, misses a little out to him. That wasn't close. Kelly Maxwell was warming up in the pen. 2-1 up and in, ball 3.
Yeah, we're going to see Maxwell late in this game. If I was a betting woman.
3 balls and a strike. Big time hitters count here for Coleman. The pitch, strike. Coleman tried to sell it. She faked the bat toss back to the dugout, has a little chuckle to herself as she takes a little walk.
And I think the laugh is, yeah, that was a strike.
She tried to sell it.
Yeah.
The 3-2 pitch. She turns on one, hops it down the right field line, racing over and making the catch. Foul territory is Maloney. Nice hustle for Maloney. Had a long way to go, but the damage is done. The 5th. This pitching change is brought to you by Love's Travel Stops, the heart of the highway. Nicole May gets the call. We thought she might start. DJ, what do you make of this spot for Nicole May?
It's the game plan to the T of what Coach Gasso said she was going to do, right? I mean, you've got Nicole May coming into this ball game to face the 4, 5, 6. All of them are right-handed, okay? The last righty in this lineup is Jolie Mitchell in the 7-hole. After that, you've got lefties for 5. So the time for May might be short because I think we're going to see Maxwell come in to face the lefties, but she's got a job here in front of her to take care of the heart of this lineup.
All right. Maybe the biggest moment in the game, the biggest moment in this championship series. First pitch to Reese Atwood is up high, ball 1. Atwood is 1 for 1. Actually has a couple stolen bases. Walked and scored a run. Single and was stranded at second. 5-3 Sooners. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Long look at the pitch watch from May. And it's popped up right side, but there's not enough room for anyone to go make a play. Couple rows up. May in the NCAA tournament is 2-1. 2.50 ERA. This is her 5th appearance. Opponent's hitting .255 against her. Of course, that a little bloated from the tough outing against Florida. This is only her 2nd appearance in the World Series. There's ball 2 a little bit up. In that game against Florida, 2 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, struck out 2, walked 1. But just 2 innings. Righty matchup with the Big 12 Player of the Year, Reese Atwood, and the Sooners up a deuce. Foul back, 2-2. Good cut by Atwood.
Yeah, and I like that conversion count. 2 balls and a strike. And Nicole May throwing a pretty good pitch on the inner half and getting herself back even at 2-2.
2 balls and 2 strikes. May rocks, fires, bouncer towards the left side, deep in the hole. Jennings, long throw, 1 away.
Good start. I think what's been kind of cool to see the way that Coach Gasso has managed the staff today is you can see there was a conversation earlier today saying you're going to get called and you're going to have a very distinct job, right? It's Nicole May's time right now, and again, she has a very distinct job. Take care of the righties in this lineup.
Katie Stewart is 0 for 1 with a walk. First pitch for May. And for a strike. You mentioned take care of the righties. Nicole May has been outstanding this year against right-handed hitters. The 0-1 pitch is a little bit up. Right-handed batters this year, DJ, are hitting just 177 against May. Walked 9, but has struck out 58.
That's a big number.
Here's the 1-1 pitch from May to the righty Stewart. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
That ball danced a little bit coming into Stewart.
I was listening to one of our calls to make sure that, you know, we're on point.
Yeah.
And you said you can tell when Nicole May is good by her body language and how she acts around the circle. The 1-2, swing and a miss! 2 away. I say that to point out I'm loving her body language right now.
She's working quick, and again, she has that confidence, and she should. I mean, she's come into this game and just throwing some pretty dirty pitches and really kind of sawing off. I mean, we saw her saw off Katie Stewart on the inner half.
First pitch to Alyssa Washington is in for a strike. This is where a couple of times the Sooners have gotten in trouble. 2 outs, let the guard down a little bit. Texas gets a base runner with a walk or a blooper or a base hit, and the next thing you know, they put a run on the board. Don't let that happen. And absolutely, I got fooled. Swing and a miss for Alyssa Washington, who was nowhere near that filth from May. No balls and 2 strikes. Here it comes. Way out. Sooners have typically made a defensive change. We'll see Hannah Corin left, but just want to point out Cassidy Pickering still out there. We heard from Donna Marilou and are tuned in out in Montana. They're happy. We're happy. You're happy. The 1-2. Swing and a miss.
Not a kid.
The Sooners are 6 out away from history. And as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, Oklahoma leads it 5-3. And it's that Lali Gutierrez takes over here in the bottom of the 5th. Let's not lose sight of how big that top of the 5th inning was from Nicole May.
She looked so good. And I've said it over and over. When Nicole May has a not-so-hot outing, the next time you see her, she's lights out. And that's exactly what we saw. Again, Nicole May was given a job to do. She didn't get the start, but I can guarantee you the conversation was get the job done when your number is called, because it's going to get called, and we just saw it unfold.
Gutierrez pitched against the Sooners last night. It was her only Women's College World Series appearance so far after getting shelled in the Supers. 5-3 Sooners. First pitch to Tiare Jennings is a little bit up, ball 1. Sun is set. Gorgeous scene here at Devon Park. Jennings takes a strike on a pitch that looked a little out. As the sun is set well beyond the left field wall, you can see the orange hue of the glow. And this place has been juiced since about 4 o'clock this afternoon. The 1-1 pitch misses low to Jennings. 2 balls and a strike. Jennings tonight is 0 for 2. Oh, so she's due to hit one to the
There
middle.
we go. There we go.
Due factor is high. Here's the 2-1 pitch to TRA. Got under it, fouled it off.
And I feel like I say this a lot, but coming off the inning from Nicole May, right? That's a huge momentum push coming off of the bases clearing double from Sydney Sanders. And then you get a performance like that for Nicole May, getting rid of the side. This feels like a big at-bat here. Find a way to get something rolling and potentially put this game out of reach.
2-2 pitch. Wow, nearly hit Jennings, who stepped over it. Gutierrez was fantastic against the Sooners in the Saturday start in Austin. But in the postseason, in the NCAA tournament, she's been ineffective in her 3 appearances. A 6.63 ERA, 10 hits, 6 earned runs. The 3-2 to Jennings, grounded just foul down the third base line. Ooh.
That was a lot closer than I thought it was off the bat.
Full count. We'll do it again. Gutierrez toes the rubber with her right foot as she adjusts her mask. She's ready with the 3-2 pitch to Jennings. What a pitch. Got her swinging. 1 away. Here's Ella Parker. Pretty good pitch.
Yeah, and it had some velo behind it. Gutierrez, not necessarily known for pumping the gun, but a little drop ball at 67. And just got Jennings to chase. I mean, it's not like that pitch fell off the table, but pretty good spot.
5 runs on 9 hits for the Sooners and the 1 error. 3 runs on 5 hits for Texas. Here's Ella Parker blowing away. Ella's looking for her first hit of the night after what's been a breakout season, but an absolute breakout postseason performance. Grounded out to short. Well, actually grounded into the double play in the first, and then flied out deep to right center field. Had a good cut, fouled off the 1-0, a ball and a strike. Everything she does is so smooth at the plate.
It's going to be so exciting just to continue to watch her to grow, because I forgot all season that she was a freshman, and I mean, she just approaches her at bats like a vet.
1-1, checked her swing on a pitch low and away. She did not go. They appealed down at third. I know I haven't sat much tonight. I looked down the Sooner cheering section. I don't think they've sat down the whole game either. The 2-1 pitch. Little low, ball 3. Fifth innings this season brought to you by the Hal Smith Restaurant Group. Learn more at halsmith.com. 3-1 count here to Ella Parker. Gutierrez finds the zone for strike 2.
I don't mind that take. 3-1 off speed. You could see Ella Parker not on time for it. And that's a pretty big pitch from Gutierrez.
Parker digs in, waits the full count pitch. Here it comes. Got her. Dirty off speed. And a big inning here. 2 away.
3-1 changeup, 3-2 changeup. I mean, you're not on time for it. I mean, those are big-time pitchers' pitches and hitters' counts.
Sooners
Third baseman, number 33, Alyssa.
hadn't struck out before Jennings' strikeout. Gone down in order so far. Here's Brito. First pitch is up high, ball 1. We owe you a station break, regardless of what happens here. Station ID. We'll get it after Brito's at bat. As this game pushes past the 2-hour mark, just past 9:05 Central Time here in Oklahoma City. The 1-0 pitch. Low, 2-0.
Good count here for Brito. Curious to see if Gutierrez brings out the off speed. She did it on a 3-1 count to Ella Parker, and it's been effective in this inning, but I'd like to see Brito unload on something here if it's sweet.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Brito takes a strike. 2-1.
You can kind of see Brito stretching, going, attack that pitch. 2-0 curveball. And again, you've put Gutierrez in a spot to do something a little different here, mixing the off speed.
Here's the 2-1 pitch from Gutierrez. That skips into no man's land. 3-1. I was going to say an Atwood's glove, but of course it shot off it and went down the first base line. 3-1 count to the Sooner third baseman, the Sooner All-American, Alyssa Brito. Gutierrez rocks, fires. Strike 2 on a pitch that looked a little bit low.
Yeah, that pitch hasn't been a strike all day. Yeah.
I was telling someone today, my moment of knowing when Patty Gasso is mad is when she comes down with her arms up. And that's exactly what she was doing there. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Brito. Ball 4. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID as Brito heads to first. You're listening to Sooner Softball from Learfield.
KRXO-FM and KRXO HD Oklahoma City, a product of Tyler Media, your flagship station for Oklahoma Sooner sports. 107.7, The Franchise.
Hansen on the night is 1 for 2. Tough at bat in the second, grounded back to the pitcher. Singled and scored on the bases clearing triple by Sid Sanders. First pitch from Gutierrez is, it was the pitch, strike 1.
Love to see the Sooners do something here with 2 outs. One thing that I feel like opposing teams have done in this series is strike with 2 outs. I mean, we've seen Texas do it. It's time for the Sooners to get in on a 2-out fun.
As we roll past 9 o'clock, quick update for those of you just tuning in, just getting off work. Sooners struck first in this game after surprise starter. Texas struck first after surprise starter Carly Keeney gave up a run in the second. OU bounced back with a 2-run homer from one Cassidy Pickering. Solo runs in the third and fourth gave Texas a lead and a bases clearing double. With the Sooners 3 spot on the board in the bottom of the fourth, and that's where we are, 5-3. That pitch misses low and in, ball 1. We got something going on beyond the center field wall. They've got the emergency vehicles out there. Hope everyone's okay. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Hansen. Bounced it to the right side. Stewart runs away from it to cover the bag. Gutierrez makes the play, shovels in time to get it. Inning over.
But Texas didn't know how many outs there were.
Well, that's happened a couple of times this week. We have put Danny Dobbs on the official investigation of what's going on beyond the left center field wall. Have we determined? I thought I saw someone on a gurney. You brought up a great point, though, DJ. It's right in the batter's eye. I mean, it's out there beyond center field, and there's a fire truck, an emergency vehicle with its lights on. Hope everyone's okay out there.
Health and safety first, but the first thing I noticed, I'm like, that's not in an ideal spot, but I hope everyone's all right.
University of Oklahoma and Sooner Sports Properties would like to thank our concession partners, Anheuser-Busch, Fletcher's Original Corny Dogs, Nashbird, Coca-Cola, The Baked Bear, Community Coffee, Taco Mayo, Boomerang Diner, Schwab Meat, and Uber Eats. 5-3 Sooners. First pitch of the sixth from Nicole May to Jolie Mitchell is right down the middle for ball one.
I have two theories here. All right, Jolie Mitchell, right-handed, okay, and then you don't see another righty until it rolls back around to Reese Atwood in the 4 slot. Nicole May.
1-0. Oof, another good pitch.
Yeah, that's a nice spot.
Ball 2.
But I think we see Nicole May against Mitchell. Obviously, she's out there, but and potentially get the out of Mitchell, and then you bring in Maxwell to face the lefties in the 8-9, or you let Nicole May go the distance here in the 6th.
Swing and a miss at a 2-0 that probably was ball 3 based on the way this sequence is gone with our home plate umpire Tracy Laycock. 2 balls and a strike.
Nicole May looks good, but I expect to see Maxwell to face the lefties at some point, whether it be in this inning or in the 7th.
Here's the 2-1 pitch to Jolie Mitchell. Swing and a miss, strike 2. She's just overmatched.
The word I was about to say. We're just on the same wavelength. I know. But I feel like Mitchell, I mean, she looked overmatched against Monticelli, too. I mean, and last night against Maxwell.
2 balls and 2 strikes from May. The pitch up and away. Had a little bit more juice on that. Full count.
Throw a strike. Again, I mean, May has thrown really well. We just talked about how not outstanding Mitchell has looked at the plate against every Sooner pitcher. Go right at her.
3-2 pitch from May. Pops out. 1 change for Oklahoma. Hannah Core is now out in left field for Oklahoma. Defensive substitution. Plus arm, plus speed from Hannah Core. They've moved Riley Boone over to right field. We'll do the 3-2 again. 5-3 Sooners. Top of the 6th inning. OU 6 outs away from title number 8. 6 outs away from becoming the first team to ever win 4 straight national championships.
That doesn't even sound... It's outrageous.
Still hasn't registered.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Here's the 3-2 pitch from May. Whoa, way up high, ball 4. And the leadoff hitter is aboard.
I talk a lot, and, you know, I've talked a lot about it with Kelly Maxwell because her walk numbers have been high, and there's sometimes that you have those walks so you're like, okay, it's not an awful thing. That's not the best walk in the world. Again, Mitchell has struggled at the plate when Nicole May was in the zone, just made her look pretty bad on her swings.
Here's Caden Henry. Henry's had a good night for Texas. She's 2 for 2 and takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Singled, drove in a run, stole a base in the 2nd. Singled, stole a base, scored a run in the 4th. A 1 ball, no strike pitch to the freshman center fielder. Headed home. There you go, strike 1. Texas has pounded out 5 hits. Sooners have helped that out a bit with some walks. Padded that number, 1-1. Way inside. 2 balls and a strike. Oklahoma pitchers here tonight have been responsible for 5 walks. That was the first by May. 4 of those from Carly Keeney. A 2 ball, 1 strike count to Henry. The pitch, strike 2. Five 5-3 Sooners, top of the 6th. So far, no indication at first that Mitchell's going anywhere. The 2-2 called. Strike 3. Frozer. 1 away. The Sooners are 5 outs away.
Henry unhappy about the call, but that's a strike all day long. It's really and truly middle. All right, you'd like to see May hit a better spot, but just going right after it.
Right fielder number 7, Ashton Maloney.
Here's Ashton Maloney, the 9-hole hitter. She's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. First pitch, slap, foul down the third baseline. Ooh, that was scary. Brito was in tight, off the line, and that almost looked like it hit some chalk before it took a left turn around the bat.
And you could see Brito pull her glove back when I didn't touch it. There was no leather.
He had one of those moments this year. I think that came in the Louisiana Lafayette game. The 0-1 is lined into right center field and deep. It's down. It's going to get to the wall. Coleman up. Relay by Hodge. They'll hold the runner at third on a laser into the right center field gap by Maloney. Second and third, one out. Top of the lineup coming up for the Longhorns. She left that up.
Yep, she did. And we talked about this a lot. May has great success against right-handed hitters. Lefties see her better. I mean, the stats show it. But you've got a trio of lefties at the top half of this lineup. Again, work ahead, make a pitch.
They're going to keep her in for Bella Dayton, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. Second and third, Dayton's the go-ahead run. She has 3 home runs this season. The first pitch is a strike. Finally moving that emergency vehicle. They turn the lights off just now. That's beyond the center field wall. Here's the 0-1 pitch from May. In the dirt. What a job by K9. Smothered it. Ball 1.
Hansen has been really solid. Again, I feel a little spoiled because we've watched her do it her whole career. But, I mean, I think it has gone under the radar just how good she's been behind the plate in this Women's College World Series, because it has not been an easy job for her back there.
Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Dirty. May took a little off of it, and you can just see Dayton was sitting hard.
One ball, 2 strikes. Second and third, 1 out. The tying run is in scoring position. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss! 2 away.
Ice cold.
She just pulled the string.
Gosh. Massive strikeout.
ESPN got a shot of Christel Conti, the Texas athletic director, just scratching his head. And all right, here we go. We're going to the pin, and we're going to bring in Kelly Maxwell to face the lefty Scott. What a performance by Nicole May. Now she's responsible for the 2 runners on base, but she did her job. What a career. I hope this is her final moment coming off the field in a Sooner uniform as Kelly Maxwell jogs in from the pin. The plan in the circle worked to perfection. Now let's see if Kelly can close it.
What a moment. All the way around. Nicole May doing the job that she was assigned. And listen to this crowd. And that's what this is all about, right? That is how you do some of the things we've seen Maxwell do here this season and especially this week. I mean, she's going to a place that she didn't even know she was able.
She's been unbelievable here, but they've all been in starting situations. 3 2/3, running a hit versus Duke. 7 shutout innings, allowing 2 hits against UCLA, and she was magnificent here last night. Here we go. First pitch to Mia Scott's a strike. Kelly Maxwell, 23-2 on the season. 163 strikeouts to 64 walks, a 1.95 ERA. Second and third for Texas. 2 outs. Pitching changes brought to you by Love's Travel Stops. The heart of the highway. The 0-1. Swing and a miss.
Dirty. Drop ball, inner half, just falling off the table. That pitch on the inside corner owned the Longhorns last night.
No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch from Maxwell. Bounce to the right side, charged by Hodge, bobbled. She can't make the play. The run scores. And now they tag out Scott at first, who was dancing around for some unknown reason. Hodge shoveled it to Sanders. They tagged out Mia Scott. I don't know what she was doing, but what a break for the Sooners. The run will score. It will be an error, but as boneheaded of a move as you could have.
I said it during a break, and I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. Texas base running has been atrocious. That is the 4th mistake they've made, the 2nd massive one. We saw one earlier that took a run off the board of Reese Atwood not taking off on a pass ball. But you take what you can get, and you try to fight and get that run back.
Pickering, Boone, and Sanders when we come back. And Bob Moore Ford is proud to honor service members through the Patriot of the Game. To nominate a Patriot, visit BobMooreFord.com. Mia Scott with arguably one of the most ridiculous plays over at first I think we've ever seen.
I'm so torn about this because I'm ecstatic that the Sooners got out of the inning. But as a former coach and a softball fan in general, I'm watching that going, what are you doing?
First pitch to Cassidy Pickering is a little bit low and in, ball 1. 5-4. 5-4 Sooners. It's a nail biter. Maxwell came in, got the ground out. The error, of course, that took place from Avery Hodge at second. Here's the 1-0. Low and away. Pickering tonight, 2 for 2. Big second inning home run. A run scoring, or scored a run after a single in the 4th. Here's the 2-0. It's in for a strike.
It's the first at bat she hasn't swung at the first pitch, which glad she did.
Two balls and a strike. Bounced foul down the first baseline. What more can you say about just how smooth Cassidy Pickering has been here for the Sooners?
Well, she's come up clutch in massive moments on the biggest stage. I mean, it has really been something thrilling to watch. And I think one of my favorite moments from this series so far is just her reaction after yesterday's home run.
Bounces this one to the right side. Big hop for Washington. Gets her by a step. 1 away. Here's Riley Boone, who's been pretty clutch tonight. 2 for 2 night for Boone with a run scored. The big hit in this game was a bases loaded, bases clearing double from Sid Sanders. Gave the Sooners the lead in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the first pitch to Riley Boone. Ground ball right side, base hit. A 3-hit day for Riley Boone, and she's at first with a little insurance as Sid Sanders steps to the plate.
Attacking early in the count. Sooners have had success, and that was one of my keys early. Now, mostly it was pushed toward Mac Morgan, who got the start for Texas. But when the Sooners have had success with the stick, they've done it early in counts.
First pitch to tonight's hitting hero, Sid Sanders, headed home. And it's a little bit up, ball 1 from Sidlali Gutierrez. Riley Boone is doing Riley Boone things over there at first base. Hopefully not leaving early. 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch from Gutierrez. Boone is off as it's fouled off. Little hit and run. I like it.
And curious, because here comes Mike White.
Is he going to challenge it again?
Maybe.
All right, they're going to go look at this again on Boone leaving early. The umpires are going to come together.
And I know there's probably people that are going, come on, but I understand it. I don't necessarily knock it because, I mean, you're in a one-run ball game right now. And it paid off earlier. It paid off multiple times during the season. But they've got someone watching it. I understand it. I mean, she took off on the hit and run, and you may as well try it and see what happens.
There we go.
The ruling on the field is the runner left on time after the pitch. Texas is challenging. That play is under further review.
All right, so we've got another review brought to you by Noble McIntyre and McIntyre Law. Oh, she's good,
Yeah,
right?
she's good.
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
McIntyre
Adjustment
Law,
made.
the law firm you should turn to for all your personal injury needs.
But I understand the why. I
Right.
really do. I know we heard the boos of the fans, but I'm not going to knock it. I get it. It's worth a shot. And you're getting late in this game. You've got a challenge left.
Yeah.
Why the heck not?
McIntyre Law, the law firm you should turn to for all your personal injury needs. Tell us the good news.
The ruling on the field stands. The runner left on time. That is Texas's second challenge.
I understand the moment, but if there is a play at the plate, if there is something you feel controversial, you don't have a challenge.
Yep. So there's the other side of that coin.
Sanders digs back in. The 1-1 pitch to the Sooner first baseman from Gutierrez is outside, 2-1. They throw behind Boone at first, who's back in.
That back pick got a little dicey yesterday for Reese Atwood in Texas.
Led to a run for the Sooners on a wild throw down the third base line. More nail biting here tonight. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Sid Sanders. Little low, ball 3. Avery Hodge waits on deck. Sooners up 5-4, bottom of the 6th inning, looking for some insurance. The 3-1 pitch to Sanders. Strike 2. Good pitch.
Yeah, it's a pretty good spot. You can just see not what Sid Sanders was after.
Three-two. Bounce to the left side. Foul. Mia Scott made the play in foul territory. Mia Scott would not have had a play at second base.
Yeah.
Riley Boone was off. Here comes the 3-2. Ball 4.
That is some discipline right there. I mean, close, good location from Gutierrez and just missed a bit low. It was a ball, but what great discipline from Sidney Sanders.
I know there's one out, maybe some small ball here.
I like it. I was thinking the same thing. I know Hodge, she's done a good job with the stick and putting swings on the ball, but give yourself an opportunity. Jada Coleman an opportunity.
Oh, how about just she gets plunked in the back on the first pitch, and the bases are loaded for Jada.
There you go. That works too.
I mean, come on.
Let's go.
How about this?
Spot to really put a game arguably out of reach.
Bases loaded, 1 out. 5-4 Sooners, or at the very least, as you said.
Yeah, at the very least, really make Texas feel like they are in a spot with their backs against the wall. Big difference between a 1-run lead in the 7th and a 3 or 4 run lead.
Timeout called. Patty Ruth Taylor is out talking to Sidlali Gutierrez. All right. What's the game plan here? If you're Texas, you're sticking with Gutierrez.
I don't know. I don't think they have anywhere else to go, right? I mean, you've got Kavan in the wings, but...
She was throwing earlier, but Oklahoma hit her hard.
Yes, I mean, I don't think you go there either. So, I mean, if you're Texas, you've got to ride Gutierrez at this point, unless you plan on bringing Mac Morgan in, or back in, I guess.
I know the infield is in tight.
Yeah.
But with Riley Boone at third, and the way Jada handles the bat, man, I'd love to see some dirt worked here. First pitch is up high, ball one. But also remember, Jada Coleman she's had a flair for the dramatics in these moments. She's 1 for 2 tonight. A sac bunt. Bases loaded. 5-4. The Sooners lead it. The 1-0. Lined into right field. It's a base hit. Boone scores. They'll hold up Sydney Sanders. It's an RBI single from Jada Coleman. And the Sooners extend the lead to 6-4.
Bat control. I mean, you talked, Plank, about her maybe using the dirt. We know she has pop. But, I mean, she was out on her front foot a little bit and found a way to just barrel it up on a pitch that was outside.
Bases loaded for T.R.A. Jennings. Here's the first pitch from Gutierrez. Popped up, left field. Dayton has it. Sanders is fake tagging. The throw is a good one. Sanders will go back to the bag. And there's 2 outs for Ella Parker. You heard the roar of the crowd. They thought off the bat that there might have been something there. There wasn't. But Ella Parker's, well, she's been due. Strikeout victim earlier against Gutierrez. She's 0 for 3 on the night. And with the bases loaded and 2 outs, she has a chance to blow this game open, headed to the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the first pitch to the freshman. Low, ball 1. Sanders is at third. Hodge is at second. Jada Coleman, who had the RBI single, is at first. 1 ball and no strikes to the 4-11 hitter, Ella Parker. There's a strike, 1-1. This game pushes past the 2-hour and 30-minute mark. But we'll stay here all night if it means a Sooner national title. 6-4, the Sooners lead it. The 1-1 pitch to Parker. Grounded foul down the first base line. Way out in front of that.
Yeah, I really want to see Parker sitting a little bit later. Gutierrez has used the off-speed a ton. That was sort of that mid-range off-speed, so I would expect to see her take even more off. Because you could see Ella Parker folding out on her front foot, but need to start sitting late here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Expect the actual changeup here.
Here comes the 1-2. Bounce foul. Good job to stay alive.
Yeah, and that pitch had velo, but did you see how late Parker was?
Yeah.
And it wasn't because she got full. It's not because she was late, because she was overpowered. It was because she was sitting late, trying to take away the off speed.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Parker. Boy, that right center field gap looks real nice right now, Ella. Real nice. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Low and away, 2-2. Brito waits on deck. You know she wants another opportunity. Pacing in front of that Sooner dugout. Action clock is at 4 as Gutierrez starts her motion. The pitch, low and away, ball 3. Everyone's going to get a start. Don't leave early, but it doesn't matter. They're not, well, the umpire will call it. Texas ain't going to challenge it. They're out of challenges, but be smart over there, Jada. Be smart, Avery. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Parker. Headed home. Line drive, center field, base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Hodge. She'll score. It's a 2-run double from Sweet Baby. And the Sooners have blown it open. In the bottom of the 6th inning, it's 8-4 Oklahoma.
about 2 pitches ago. Sit late. That pitch came in at 54 miles an hour, and Ella Parker showing what a tremendous hitter she is. She has a great swing. She has great power, but she understands at-bats. She understands pitch sequences. And that pitch a little bit up, but it was an off-speed pitch, and you could just see Ella Parker perfectly on time. That is what makes a great hitter.
Second and third, 2 outs. Here's Brito. First pitch. Oh, my. She had a cut and swung through it for strike 1. 8-4 Sooners. 8 runs on 12 hits. And this place is starting to feel it. They're starting to sense it. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Brito. A little bit out, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Parker at second, Coleman at third. The pitch to Brito. Hammered. If it's fair, it's trouble. It's foul down the left field line. Just out in front of it is Brito.
Gotta love putting up a 3 spot here in the 6th. Love to get a couple more, but I mean, crooked number answering back.
One ball, 2 strikes to Brito. Sidlali Gutierrez, the Texas pitcher, brings it home. Another big cut by Brito that's fouled off. Just about everyone standing here at Devon Park. The energy has been unmatched since the start of the first game yesterday. It's just been on another level here. The 1-2 pitch to Brito in the dirt, wild pitch. Coleman started but thought better of it. Good job by Reese Atwood, who is outstanding behind the plate for Texas. Jada Coleman trying to see if she can't get her to throw down.
Yeah, it was good work by Jada, not breaking too early.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Get a hold of one here, Brito. The pitch in the dirt, ball 3. Jada Coleman calls for noise. Ella Parker. They get it. Reese Atwood's going to try to calm this crowd down. It's not going to work, Reese. She jogs out to chat with Gutierrez.
And this place is outrageous. And in the best way ever. But, I mean, you look around this entire stadium, I don't think people have sat down since the 4th. Unbelievable.
We're ready to go. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to the All-American third baseman. Ball 4. One more bat spike from Brito as she jogs down to first. And here comes K9.
One thing that's been really cool about this inning, other than the 3 runs put on the board, you've gotten to see Coleman, Jennings, Brito, Hansen, and Riley Boone all get an at-bat in this inning. Every senior that's in the lineup has come to the plate. Pretty awesome.
And here's the last one. Kenzie Hansen with the bases juiced. A walk-off here ends it. A home run here ends the game, and the Sooners win their 4th straight national championship in run rule fashion.
Wouldn't that be something? It's not out of the realm.
Run rule was reinstituted after Oklahoma essentially run ruled Texas, and we got run ruled by UCLA.
Yeah.
1-0 is grounded to third. Scott up with it. She'll go to the bag. We'll play on to the 7th. The bottom of the 3rd, though, or the bottom of the 6th with 3 runs set the stage for the Sooners to end this thing in style. It's Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma, connecting Oklahomans to quality health care. Along with DJ Sanchez, I'm Chris Plank. Ray Clapmeyer is our producer. The Sooners lead it 8-4, and in the top of the 7th inning, are 3 outs away from national championship number 8.
Unbelievable.
A rally here makes tomorrow a little nerve-wracking, but
I like our odds. I like a 4-run spot and Kelly Maxwell in the circle. I'll take it.
Riley Boone is moved back to left field. Cassidy Pickering returns to right. Jada in center with Brito at third, Jennings at short, Hodge at second, Sanders at first. First pitch, swing and a miss. Martinez on the night is 1 for 3. Slide out to right field her last time up on a ball that looked pretty well hit off the bat.
Yeah.
Here's the no ball, 1 strike pitch to the left-handed hitting sophomore shortstop. Foul back, 0-2.
Kelly Maxwell hammering the zone. And you know that that's the message, right? Throw strikes. Big hill to climb for Texas. Don't give them any extra base runners. Make them earn everything.
She's ahead 0-2. The pitch to Vivi. Headed home. Popped up. Shallow left field. Boone calls off everyone. 1 away. Reese Atwood. Atwood walked in the first, stole a base, scored a run. She walked in the second, stole a base and scored a run. Singled and stole a base in the third. She's 1 for 2 on the night. Feel much better facing her with a 4-run cushion and no one on base. And when Maxwell does that, throws it right by her, strike 1. No balls and a strike. The pitch for Maxwell. Little low, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Maxwell, plenty of time on the action clock. Rocks and fires. Swing and a miss, strike 2. That was filthy.
Yes. Rise ball through the zone, and it finished so high in the zone. I mean, that had an unreal amount of break on it. That pitch went belt to eyes.
The 1-2 pitch for Maxwell. Swing and a miss. 2 away.
Here we go.
Katie Stewart will be the last hope for Texas. Patty Gasso went with a unique approach. Her and Jen Rocha giving Carly Keeney the start. And one of the biggest moments in this game, they brought in Peyton Monticelli. And then May and Maxwell have stabilized it. First pitch strike to Katie Stewart. Maxwell toes the rubber. The 0-1, swinging a foul.
Drop ball's got her.
Alyssa Brito asks for noise. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Maxwell. In the dirt. Eight runs tonight for the Sooners on 12 hits. A crooked number in the second, the fourth, and the exclamation point in the sixth. The 1-2 pitch, bounce to third, backhanded by Brito, throws. History in Oklahoma City. The Sooners go where no program has ever gone before. Rewrite the record books. That's 4 in a row. They are unquestioned and unmatched, and on the sport's biggest stage, the Sooners are unstoppable. Riley Boone raises the championship trophy as Oklahoma dogpiles for the 8th time in program history. The Sooners are national champions.
Unbelievable.
Put 2024 on the wall in gold, and tonight, the river runs red, baby. The Sooners are national champs.
I just want to put in perspective, winning 1 is hard. Winning 2 is massive. Winning 3 in a row is unbelievable and unheard of. And winning 4, like this team has done, will never happen again. Mark my words, or it will be a very, very, very long time. Savor this moment because it's unbelievable. That's the best word I've got.
We're going to bring you the entire trophy celebration. You're going to hear it all. So buckle up. If you're heading home, you're going to be stuck in traffic for a while. You don't have to go anywhere. Ray Klapmeyer is going to turn 70. He's not going anywhere. What a birthday present, Ray. 8-4, the final score. The Sooners have won their 4th straight national title. We're going to try to listen in on Kelly Maxwell's conversation with ESPN, but it was a miserable failure the last time I tried to do this. So Riley Boone is walking around with the championship trophy. Here we go.
An iconic shot. You're waiting to run in and save this game, and as you come in, this crowd erupts. What were you hearing and feeling in that moment as you ran in?
It was loud, and thank you, Sooner Nation, for being here tonight. It's an awesome crowd. I had my blinders on the whole way, and I knew I was going to give all the glory to God.
You did well in that first inning, and then in between innings, I see you in the dugout. Your head is down. You're talking to yourself. If I know you, I guess you're maybe praying. How did you close out that final inning and get this championship?
I think just being present and being where my feet are and just knowing that this team is special and that we deserve this.
You have to make one of the toughest decisions of your life to transfer into this program. You have had a lot of criticism. How have you shouldered all of that to be the best version of yourself in this moment?
This year has been so hard, but I'm grateful that I'm here and grateful that this staff welcomed me with open arms, and I think I'm just, praise God.
Thank you so much, Kelly.
All right, we're going to send DJ down in the field. Congrats.
Amazing.
Your alma mater, man.
Amazing.
All right, the post-game trophy celebration is next. DJ is going to head down to the field. The Bud Light post-game show is celebrating national championship number 8 and the 4th straight. No one's done it. 8-4, the final score. This is Sooner softball from Learfield.